everyone again on this entire screen. This. Let me know when my screen is visible. So visible.
Yeah.
So I have put a lot of colors without understanding the concept. So I will try to read those colors and try to correlate, right? So so today's topic is exception handling and recovery, and then the next topic is human in the loop. So before coming to getting into this thing, we can actually want we want is this font is fine, or I can increase the font size.
Yeah,
चलो
increase a little bit.
Little bit. Yeah.
लिटिल बिट इंक्रीज करते हैं. लो भाई हो गया लिटिल बिट.
Much better.
मच बेटर आ गया. चलो ठीक है. So actually, if you remember the first page, right? So we have started this book as a agentic design pattern. So this design pattern, all we know the fundamental definition of design pattern, right? Means there is some known, there is some problem, and for that problem there is a known solution, and then that how can we apply those the solution for that problem, right? So problem and solution should match each other. It should not be that there is no such problem, but we are implying that solution, right? So we have learned a lot of patterns. So if we want to just cover fast, let me again. So we started with prompt chaining, where we have list of prompts, right? One after another prompt is executing in order to solve a problem. Then routing, where I have to go route A or route B. Then parallelism, where how I can execute a parallel set of the LLM calls. Then reflection, where I did something and some other agent can actually review this part and then get back to me. Okay, these are the improvements needed in there. Then I can execute this loop for say n number of times. That is a reflection pattern. Tool use, where I want to get some information from the external world. It can be our API, it can be our web, right? So for that we are using these tools, and there we are going used to the agents, right? Planning, when we know this is the initial stage, this is the final stage, how can I reach to this step, right? So we move step by step and see whether we are moving in the right direction or not. Multi-agent, where we have multiple agents and we know to which agent we have to talk. So these are the ways in which we can directly connect with the any design pattern, right? So when we learn any language, so you can say these are the hello world programs or the hello world patterns of this, right? But eventually when we actually start writing coding or writing some programs in that, then this word came, exception, right? So today's agenda is to understand this exception handling and recovery and human in the loop, right? So at the day one, nobody is talking about what is exception, how I can deal my exception, how can I can handle my exception. But yes, eventually when we start developing something, when something is not happening based on my instructions in my code, my instructions in my prompt, then what to do? So that is the exception that we are having. So different languages have different ways in which we can actually handle the exceptions. If you're talking about Java, right, or the C# language, we capture everything in a block known as try, right, and above and then we catch list of exceptions. Okay, if it is a array out of bound exception, memory out of memory exception, and in the last we actually caught the normal exception, and we did some part there, right? Okay, this exception has been caught, now I have to do this thing. What is that thing? It is nothing but the handling of that exception, right? So if you see, we are here also, we are learning in the same pattern, where we write some piece of code without try block. Now my code is not behaving as per our expectation, and it is raising some sort of exception. Now we need to handle those exceptions. So exception handling is the handling of that exception. And the next word here is recovery. Recovery means Suppose I have to execute 10 steps or 10 prompts. I was able only to execute 4 of them. After that, I got an exception, and I am in the catch block, right? So how now I can recover to the normal state? So that technique also we will try to learn today in the world of agentic patterns, right? So I think that the context is clear to all of us, where we want to handle any unforeseen situations, error, or any malfunctioning, right? Because LLM, we are talking with LLM means we are talking something which we don't have any control, right? Suppose I am calling one LLM and it is suddenly said your tokens has been exhausted, man. Give some money, then only I can provide you more answers, right? What should I do now? There are multiple ways. Huh? I took one key from Mr. Rakesh Kumar, and Rakesh give me one key. Okay, use this key, and then I can start using this. So these are all the ways in which I can actually trying to manage those exceptions where we are talking with a LLM, right? So so the objective of this thing is very clear now: maintain uninterrupted functionality and operational integrity despite various difficulties and anomalies, right? Now there are two ways in which these exceptions can be managed. One is the proactive approach, right? Before calling it, I can ensure myself, okay, my tokens are sufficient, I have the right prompt, I have the right information. Now let's give this task to the LLM. So proactively, I have make sure that this should not give any exception. Then there is a reactive type of strategy where I call it. Then when something happened, then I actually trying to minimize its effect. Right, reactive and proactive. So these are the two different ways in which. And again, why we are using exception to make our system stable and reliable. Right. So this pattern sometimes use reflection, like we discussed just now, right? Reflection? We did something, and the other person or another LLM has actually reviewed this thing, and it has given me some review comments. Based on those review comments, either I will say yes, this task is completed, or I say no, these are the few missing points, or these are few issues in this. Try to do it again, right? So sometimes we can use exception pattern, exception handling thing using reflection pattern also, right? So overall, its goal is to now this pattern, right? So its goal is to actually it involves to huh, we are now in this we actually showing two pages, right? Involves anticipating potential issues, developing strategies to mitigate them. Okay, what are the strategies? Now exception has happened, right? What are the different strategies that you can do now? We can log that thing, we can do a retry, right? Suppose I did something. Suppose there is some transient errors, right? Which sometimes coming, sometimes not coming. It is happening to many of us in the production, right? The transient issues. So if we try again, it actually runs successfully. Fallback mechanism, graceful degradation, or sending the notification. So these are different ways in which we can actually take the next step, or you can say I can handle that exception. What are the recovery mechanism? For example, we can do the state rollback, right? State rollback means whatever state we are in, we will roll back everything. Suppose I want to book a ticket, and I want to book a hotel, right? Suppose I booked the ticket for my hotel, and then I started booking my flight ticket. And now it says you are trying with Indigo, and Indigo flights are being cancelled today, right? So what should I do now? So I need to cancel my ticket for my hotel, right? So this thing is known as the rollback the state. So plus we can do the diagnosis, self-correction, escalations, right? All these are different, you can say, the strategies in which we can actually do the uh, recovery operation. So recovery, and the handling of those exceptions are these two are the major things for which this chapter is actually focusing on. So practical application, if we say, suppose chatbot, we have a chatbot, right? And chatbot is talking to our system is actually getting the data from the database. eh? Suppose that database connection or it has some issue, right? How can I handle those exception errors with respect to the databases? Or if you are doing some financial trading thing, right? So it can also have like the insufficient funds and other things, right? How can I address those things? Or suppose I have a smart home agents, right, which can actually uh, switch on switch off my lights and all my electrical appliances. Suppose some of the appliances is not working, my bulb got fused, right? My smart my smart agent cannot make that fuse bulb ready, right? So how can this? So these are all the exception scenarios where we need of this pattern, right? Yes. So these are the three fundamental steps. First, we need to detect the error or the exception, right? Then we have to handle that error or exception. Then we have to do the recovery. Right? So these are the three fundamental. Even in our normal coding also, we do the same thing only. So here also, but here we are talking about the world of LLMs. Right? So error detection. How can I detect a error? So like 404 error or 500 error, right? Or there are responses which are actually deviate from the expected format. So I say, okay, give me a JSON response which is having so much of clauses, right? Like it contains in this format the JSON response, and there are few fields which are actually missing in the response, right? So this is also exception, right? And then after getting the response, I can actually check, as we discussed in the reflection pattern, I can check the uh, formatting of my JSON response and can tell, okay, these fields are empty or these fields are not provided in the right manner, right? Whatever. Then error handling. How can I can handle a error? We can actually okay, recording error details, debugging and analysis. Retrying is a good thing, right? As we discussed, right? We can retry again and again if there is some the transient errors, right? We can do this retries, and we can also do the fallback mechanism. Fallback is yes, Shiva, madam. Shiva, madam, you want to say something? Am I audible?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear
sir,
you.
you're audible.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Acha, chalo. Let me. So there are the alternative strategies, right, in which we can say yes, I can do the fallback mechanism, and or there is a partial functionality I am providing to my user, right? And I can also do this thing also, alerting human operators or the other agents also. Mm, okay, Shiva, madam, you can actually type and send the on the chat window if you have any question, right? So this is about the error handling. So retries is nothing but it can actually make some prompt changes as well as some slight changes in the prompt, or it can actually retry the same prompt also. That depends. Suppose my tokens are being exhausted, right? So now I can move to next API key and try the same prompt. But if I am getting some sort of a thing like my responses is not actually giving me the right format of results, I can tweak my prompt as well. So that depends on case to case. Retry also. Okay. So error handling, yes, we can retry, we can alternative strategies, fallback mechanism, partial functionality. Okay, I can tell, okay, I can provide you only this much of time, this much of thing. For example, in our scenario of this, I can come to a solution. Okay, because right now there are no flights are available, but yes, I can book for your hotel. Are you sure that I can go with this transaction? Means my request is partially fulfilled. Right? I can come with this sort of solution also. Plus, I can also do the alerting the human operations also. When there is a customer support, I can okay tell okay now you are in this problem, so our AI is not able to solve your problem. So what you can do that we can connect with a uh, uh, our chat agent. So someone will call you shortly, using which you can actually connect with a person over phone or over on the chat window, whatever. Right. So these are different ways in which these errors can be handled. Recovery one is that they state rollback, whatever operation we have done we can roll back the operations, right? Self correction mechanism, or the replanning thing, or delegating this issue to a human operator. So if you see recovery and the error handling, they are some sort of, you can say, mixed sort of roles, right? Sometimes in the error handling also we are doing the recovery part also, right? And overall objective is to make this thing as a robust, right? So from fragile to unreliable system, we want to create a robust dependable component capable of operating effectively and resiliently in challenging and high predictable environments. This is the overall objective of exception handling, right? And this, what it ensures that it can maintain the functionality, minimize the downtime, provide a seamless and reliable experience even when faced with unexpected issues, right? So same thing it is trying to explain us in one way or the other way. Now, what are the practical applications and the use cases we can apply? See, exception handling is not something that it is specific to some code only. Like we said, right, when we have learned the hello world code in any language, we have never tried this try then hello world then exception, right? But when we are going to write some piece of code which is our a production quality code, right, then we have to think on this. Yes, we need to handle the exceptions now. So similarly, so it has very wide cases. Some of the cases are the customer service chatbots. When it is not being solved from the AI agent, uh, then that need to be handled from the customer, or our database is down. So many scenarios in which I'm not getting the right response from a chatbot, or the automated financial trading, like the market is closed now, or we have insufficient funds, I cannot execute this trade, right? Or smart home automation, my actually instrument, my electrical instrument is not working, right? How can I handle that thing? Data processing agents, suppose I have hundred of PDFs, right, which I need to process and put it into our RAG database, right? So suppose one of the file is not PDF, it is of some other type, so that thing need to be handled, right? Or there is some empty files, or there are some images. How can I handle those things when I have a uh, group of files need to be uploaded? So like the web scraping, right, that we have got the captcha or 404 error, right? Or in the robotics, we have given a command, robot please take a cup uh, and then start my coffee machine, pour the coffee into my cup and give that cup to me. Suppose that first step itself fails, it is not able to pick the mug. How can I do the next type of steps, right? So this way we can say yes, it can actually applied in any AI application, this thing. But remember this thing, that these are the fundamental steps where exception detection, exception handling, and recovery. Now how we can actually implement this? So this is, so this pattern we know, and the way it can be solved we know. Now we have to create that graph. So here in this example, they have created three. One agent is to try the primary functionality. Other is the fallback handler, right? And the fourth one is actually giving you the final response, right? So if this person found that this is not okay, then it can give it to agent one, and then finally when it said yes, it is fine now, it is give it to agent three. Right. So this is a very small explanation of this. So I'm not getting into code right now, but yes, this is a standard way in which assertions in the LLM world should be handled. Right. And then these are the rule of thumbs, like where we are building some applications where the system failures, tool errors, network issues, or unpredictable inputs are possible. There we need to use this pattern to handle any type of exceptions. Right? This is just a diagram of this. With this, I hope that this chapter is finished. Shall I move to chapter number 2, chapter number 13, which is human in the loop? Or we have any question? Chalo, good. Mahengji, good morning. So, human in the loop, right? When the human is required. So, right now that race is happening, right? AI and human, right? So, where we should actually add the human in that loop. So, we have see in one of the exception handling cases, we have seen that we can even escalate this into a human. So that is a part of exception handling. But that is not the human in the loop, right? ऐसा नहीं कि हम कुछ we want to escalate something, or we want to handle some exception, and we say yes, this is a human in the loop. No, that is one of the use case of the human in the loop. So what is this concept, human in the loop? So it is a pivotal strategy where one person is working as a machine, one person is working as a human, right? So अभी एक रेस चल रही है मशीन और मतलब ह्यूमन की. लेट्स सी क्या होगा आगे. कल ह्यूमन खत्म हो जाएंगे, किसी मशीन ही रहेगी, कि अचानक से जो हमारा जेएनआई का बबल चल रहा है बस्ट हो जाएगा, राइट? So right now we are in the middle of that. We don't know what is going to happen next. So that's why we have to involve human also with this AI, right? I'm just joking. But yes. So one of the reason why we need to put human in the loop is the judgment and the creativity. When we need to do some sort of creation in my decisions, not in the creation of an image, in the creation of my the decisions, plus any judgment I have to taken, right? And that judgment we cannot go by rules, right? So again we need the human judgment there. So if you see judges, right, or even if somebody is got some issues, he can got bail also, even though he has done some crime, from the president of India, right? So this way, so that's why this part is very important. At some, not for all the cases, for some of the cases. So where a critical decision making is required, so this word is very important here. When the critical decision making is required here, right? So why we actually need this human in the loop? For the ethical boundaries, safety protocols, or the optimal effectiveness, right? There we need. And what is the importance of this? The collaborative cooperation or the interaction between human and the machine, between AI and the human, right? When both are working together in the same direction for a good cause and good goal, right? You can see the and one result, you guys might be using some AI tools to write code, right? There are lot of tools. We have Copilot, we have Augment, we have Spine, we have Kilo Code, we have so many tools are there, right? People have started using those tools. And if we know the right prompt, if we know our problem description, then see, we in today's days, right, we actually can write so much of code which actually we used to write in say months. We can write those codes in days, right? 3 महीने का कोड जो है मैं 3 दिन में लिख सकता हूं. मैं नहीं, आप में से कोई भी लिख सकता है, ठीक है? सी, if we are using that AI tool in the right manner. So that is the power of collaboration. Right? So what HITL means human in the loop will do. So it will do that thing as a augment that the human capabilities. What it can provide, that it can provide some data-driven insights, right, and inform the human decisions. Okay, I have these insights for this data. What do you want to do now? For example, if we are writing some piece of code using AI, right? So at some point it is saying, okay, can you give? Are you sure that can I go with this approach or this approach, right? You can say, okay, go with approach A. Can I write the test cases for you? I can say no. Then it can move another way. If I say yes, it can move another way. So whenever there is some the decision making thing, right? It can actually ask you those questions, and those answers are very simple: yes or no, or ठीक है. So now this can be implemented in the diverse of ways, where it can work as a reviewer or the validator or the examine the AI outputs, right? Ensure the accuracy of the AI task. Even it can be used for identify the potential errors in the AI task, providing the feedback also for the AI, which they can learn, which is known as the reinforcement learning. It can help you. The human in the loop can help you in the reinforcement learning as well, right? Making corrections also. It can do so. Okay, okay, correct this thing, then give me the final output, right? And and this thing can be done using interactive dialogues also. Now let's see this pattern, human in the loop pattern. So we have a AI, we have a human, right? How both can talk with it? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these patterns are related to AI agents, right? Or
Yes.
so then generally whatever I found so far,
Hmm.
uh, did it give any example where this human in the loop is actually possible? So like reinforcement
Are you
learning.
using any AI tool for the writing code?
Yeah,
So when we are giving any prompt to that tool, so it is asking few questions in between, na? Like, shall I write test cases for you, or can you give me rights for your system to run a browser?
yeah, but that we don't use using AI agent, right? That's as a
Well,
developer
these
you are
are all
writing.
AI agent, na? Means whatever AI tools we are using, so it's
Yeah,
a
but
MCP server only, na?
see, that's a communication between a developer and a, let's say, a co-pilot, right?
Hmm.
But
So,
here, I
matlab,
what I'm understanding is, let's say I'm writing some AI agents basically, where it is interacting with either another agent or something which is a automated process. That
hmm.
is what I am thinking here. It is so in that case, wherein human will come in the loop.
So human will come only when some decision need to be taken,
Yeah.
or
So
hmm,
if you are developing let's say an agent, so the decision, let's say first you give the input. So
hmm,
in the input, then you need to call, let's say, five either they call it functions or sub agents. You can think like that way. That also AI is capable enough to do that. I mean, it can call, given this is the type of let's say input, then it will call the let's say your database, or it will call that is also AI is capable doing that.
hmm, hmm.
So I was curious where exactly I need to be involved as a human there. You understand what I'm trying to say?
So I think you are right. When wherever we are not able to instruct our AI to perform any task, there we have to include human in that loop, right?
Yeah, that situation I'm trying to
Yes.
find.
Then I'm just giving the same example. If we are writing a piece of code,
Mhm,
and it is asking whether I should write the test for this or not. So this is a follow-up questions, you can say.
mhm,
Means what should I do next? Or my task is done, I am done, right?
mhm,
So when it want to actually involve a human in that conversation,
mhm,
so either the first matlab, a human has given an instruction to write a piece of code, which we can say a guideline. So here also we can see that pattern also, where I have put some guidelines to to perform a task. After doing that task, in order to execute next level of execution steps, again I am putting the human in the loop. For example, suppose I have asked uh, my AI tool or my augment tool to write some code, or my co-pilot tool to write some code, right?
mhm,
It has
mhm,
written some code, then it is asking, I should keep this file or I should revert it back. So
Mhm.
if I am not happy with the result, I say no, I don't want this thing. Please revert me back, revert it back to it. Right.
Mhm.
So there some decisions, or you can say some action need to be taken when AI is not sure whether he has done the thing right or not. Then he can take a opinion or the instruction from the human.
Yes, maybe it is. Okay, okay, no problem.
So we can see some the use cases here. Then I think
Yeah.
things should be more clear. So so how these two here we're talking about how we can actually mm, combine the capabilities of human and the AI, right? So human HITL encompasses various, several key aspects. Human oversight involves monitoring of AI performance and output. So whatever output AI has produced, it is going to monitor that thing, right? Or intervene, and the correction can also be happen for any the ambiguous scenarios. So this is a scenario where we can put the AI into the human in the loop. Or if there are some errors, I can use human in the loop to rectify those errors or supply any missing data or guide the agent. Right? In this scenario, we can actually use the suppose we have given some ambiguous requirement, or there are some errors, or we have given some missing information. It needs some more data. So there it can ask the suppose I say ki book a flight for me. Then he will ask, okay, from where to where you want to go? Then I say, okay, I want to go from station A to station B. Right. So if I am giving some instructions and some data is being missing, then it can ask those missing. So these are different scenarios in which we can actually use this pattern. Plus refining of the AI model. Refining AI model means again the same concept, reinforcement learning using human feedback. Because the next time my AI won't suppose I say ki book a flat for me to Dubai, then he do not know my current location or my the home location. I said that okay, book a flight for me from home to Dubai. Then he can ask me, okay, where is your home? I say Delhi. Okay. Next time if I say book a flight for me from home to New York, what it should say? Now he know that my home is in Delhi, so he can pick up those things because it has understood that based on my previous conversation, like this person's home is in Delhi. Now he want to go from Delhi to New York. Right? So this is it can actually reinforcement learning using human feedback or the human the responses. Uh, right. Mm. So where are the other? मतलब मतलब एट ए टाइम एक ही करेगा लेकिन ऐसा हो सकता है कि डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ रोल्स करते हो.
Bank Bhai, I would like to share one of the services that I was recently going through in AWS. So this service is called Augmented AI. In short, they call it A2I. We can Google for this. So एग्जैक्टली उसमें यही कॉन्सेप्ट है कि जैसे आपने एक मशीन लर्निंग एक ML मॉडल आपने बनाया, राइट, एंड इट्स इन प्रोडक्शन. Some user submits a query prompt to get the response. Maybe this prompt may not be, I mean, the response may not be expected immediately. It may be the processing may be done offline, whatever. तो उसमें क्या है कि दो ऑप्शंस रहते हैं. एक ऑप्शन है कि अगर मॉडल का जो आउटपुट है, if the confidence level is high, the response will be sent to the user immediately. If, however, if the confidence level is lower than a threshold, it will be held back by the system for the human review. And there would be some dedicated team offline, responsible for these reviews and making sure that eventually the feedback to the client goes should be accurate. They will make sure that और ये रिव्यू ऑफलाइन होगा और रिव्यू करके फिर उसको करेक्ट करके उसको फिर फीडबैक वापस बाद में भेजा जाएगा। तो ये एक कॉन्सेप्ट जो है A2I जो टूल है, जो सर्विस है AWS में, दैट्स हाउ दे हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड। जस्ट थॉट ऑफ शेयरिंग दिस इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट।
Very good use case, sir. Yeah.
थैंक यू।
Yes. So yeah, so like here, right? We can do this thing. Sensitive sectors where full of automation is not feasible or permitted, right? There we can use this thing through the human in the loop. We can actually do automation to some extent. Then yes, because it's the sensitive operation, right? फॉर एग्जाम्पल कहीं बम गिराना है पाकिस्तान पे, राइट? सब कुछ ऑटोमेट कर लो, लेकिन आखिरी में तो मोदी से पूछना पड़ेगा ना कि भैया करें कि ना करें। तो वो एक चीज चाहिए होगा, राइट? तो ये
hold
जहाँ पे
on.
हमारे ऑपरेशन सब काफी मतलब सेंसिटिव हैं ऑपरेशन। यस सर।
Sorry, man, with your example. Okay, so
एग्जाम्पल हमारे सर सेकंड टाइम पे रहते हैं।
so another question is,
यस सर।
Akhil, you gave that example. Yeah, I understand. So let's say forget about these AI agents. So let's say we are developing any service or any system. Whenever we'll go through the patterns, this is also applicable to our. If you are not considering AI agents or anything, this is also applicable to us right now. If you are developing any service, right, there you may
यस।
need somewhere a human intervention, but we don't read that in the patterns, that a human in the loop pattern, right? Specifically this is for AI agents. That's why I asked that question. Why we are just reading this pattern specifically here? This could have written before too, right?
हाँ, क्योंकि सर यहाँ पे ऐसा है कि जो हमारे पास रेस्पॉन्सेस आ रहे हैं ना, वट एवर द मतलब रेस्पॉन्सेस दैट वी आर हैविंग, इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम एलएलएम। तो एलएलएम के पीछे से उसका व्हाट इज द लॉजिक और मतलब व्हाट इज द एल्गोरिथम या वो चीज कैसे प्रोसेस हो रहा है, वी डोंट नो। बिकॉज जैसे मतलब ह्यूमन मतलब लैंग्वेज इंटरफेस, वी आस्क इन इंग्लिश एंड वी गेट देयर सम रिस्पांस इन इंग्लिश, and behind the scene it is actually expecting to do some the operations. For example, I say okay, book a ticket for me, from here to here I give the complete information. But if you see behind the scene, it is doing some sort of the transactions, a financial transaction, right? So that requires some accesses to my records, to my calendars, to my bank accounts, right, to do those ट्रांजेक्शंस, राइट? तो अभी एआई पे इतना भरोसा नहीं लोगों को, तो अब वो जो जहां जहां वो ऑपरेशन सेंसिटिव आएंगे तो उसको एक तब कंफर्मेशन लेना पड़ेगा कि जैसे कि ठीक है ना, तो उसके लिए है। इवन आज की डेट में भी हम कोई बड़ा ट्रांजेक्शन करते हैं तो हमारे पास एक फोन कॉल आता है कि आपके अकाउंट से ये ट्रांजेक्शन हुआ है, अगर हुआ है तो आप 1 दबाओ, नहीं तो 0 दबाओ, राइट? तो उसमें भी इवन दो इट इज नॉट एआई, बट स्टिल दैट ह्यूमन इन द इंटरफेस, जहां जहां हमारे तब सेंसिटिव ऑपरेशंस हो रहे हैं वहां हमारा इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है इसमें। नॉट द केवियट्स। केवियट्स क्या क्या है इसमें, जैसे कि मतलब मेन जी ने एकदम सही उठाया था अभी कि एक ही आदमी है कितना काम करेगा, राइट? सो देयर इज अ लैक ऑफ स्केलेबिलिटी हियर। How can I scale this pattern, right? Human in the loop. Suppose if I do some write some sort of AI agent, and it is asking lot of questions, or it is asking questions to multiple type of peoples, right? So how to manage those scale of questions where multiple humans or multiple human types are actually entering into our system, right? So it become a chaos. Other is the thing is that privacy concern. So now before asking a human the right for making some decision, AI need to inform some sort of insights to that human, whether that human is entitled to view those insights or not, we don't know, right? So these are the privacy thing, and the very important thing, from whatever human we are taking that decision, yes or no, he should be expert in that. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं किसी को भी पूछूंगा कि भाई ये है इसका यस दूं कि नो दूं, It's not a game where we are just writing left or right, like we are playing using toys, right? So that person need to be expert. This is not a scalable design where I cannot provide multiple humans, multiple experts to this pattern. Plus, there are the privacy concerns. So these are few caveats in using this pattern of the human in the loop. Now, what are the practical application and the use cases? Number one, when there is a content moderation, like when Mr. Akhil Nigam has told, right? So there is a model where it is doing some sort of activity, right? And when there is some the less confidence, right? Less confidence means what? Our model is ambiguous on its response. He's not very sure. He has less confidence on that response, right? Then in those scenarios, we need to add the human to judge that thing, right? Autonomous driving, financial fraud detection, legal document review, customer support, right? Data labeling and the annotations, right? All these actually needed human in the loop, not for all the scenarios, but for those scenarios where AI is not confident in the completion of his task, right? So suppose AI is performing the 1,000 records. So out of those 1,000, if it's involving AI, the human in the loop for one or two cases, it's fine. But it is no applying human for the 900 cases, then that is not a good thing, right?
दीपक जी, एक और सिनेरियो भी मुझे स्ट्राइक किया इसी को लेकर
Aji.
कि जैसे कोई बंदा जो है वो बैंक में अपना एप्लीकेशन डालता है लोन अप्रूवल के लिए, राइट? तो AI will review the application, all the parameters and decide whether certain amount can be approved or not. So अगर high confidence है तो निकल जाएगा, अगर confidence level low है, it will go through the banker review. So that could be one practical implementation. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Akhilji, for sharing another scenario. So yeah, right. So what is the other way in which we can actually apply human in the loop, which is the overarching policy, where we are actually providing some sort of guidelines, right? For example, for the automated financial trading system, I can provide a guideline. Okay, maintain my portfolio of 70% tech stocks, 30% bonds, and do not invest more than 5% in my single company, and automatically sell any stock that falls 10% below its purchase price, right? So if we see this thing, so this is the guideline that I have given to this tool for actually doing this thing, automated financial trading, right? Or the modern call center, when this is the scenario, I should follow these FAQs, or if this is the scenario, then immediately routed to the technical support specialist, right? So these are some of the guidelines we are providing to the AI when you should contact a human, right? So these are the ways. Okay, similarly, like here also we have a troubleshoot, we can create a ticket, we can escalate to human. So these are the three things, and then eventually we can create a graph where these tools can actually talk with each other. And so that it need to be judged, then create a ticket will be created, and then processing should be done. So we can create such things in using LangChain also in the LangGraph. So rule of thumb here, when the errors have safety, ethical, or the financial consequences, right? Always use human in the loop. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि अगर हमने आज सीख लिया है ह्यूमन इन द लूप तो हम कुछ भी बनाएंगे, एक ह्यूमन इन द लूप को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट नहीं डाल देंगे. वी शुड सी कि हाँ इसका कुछ एथिकल इशू है, या कुछ सेफ्टी मेजर्स में इशू आ सकता है, या कुछ फाइनेंशियल कंसिक्वेंसेस है, या जो भी हम एक्शन लेने जा रहे हैं वो रोल बैक शायद मुश्किल से होता है, या इसका कुछ परमानेंट इफेक्ट आ जाएगा हमारे सिस्टम में, राइट? तो अंडर दोज सिनेरियोज वी कैन इंडस्ट्री वेयर वी कैन यूज इस लाइक द हेल्थ केयर, फाइनेंस, राइट? And yes, we can using this we can actually make thing more reliable, right? Or any complex support system we can actually use this thing.
एक एग्जांपल और है. So the human interaction के लिए it happened to me last week. I had to report a fraud in my credit card. There was a transaction, so I started online. 2-3 क्वेश्चन पूछे, and based on my answers Next prompt was call this phone number and talk to the banker. So
Okay.
that happened.
तो मतलब उसको एक तरह का गाइडलाइंस मिली थी कि इसी तरह का रेस्पॉन्स अगर आ रहा है देन involve a human in the loop. So this is, yes, this is a very good concept to actually to run your business safely, and so that we should not get that business impacted from the AI, right? So that so this is about the human in the loop. Now we have 10 minutes left. So chapter also rag I think we have completed 3-4 times, right?
Yes, we completed the reg 3 earlier as well, so I don't
Yeah.
really,
Rag we have
we can skip it, I believe.
yes, we can. Yeah, we can skip rag.
It is a very common concept nowadays. Everyone knows what is reg.
Yes. So with this we have completed part 3 today. So now next is inter-agent communications, right? And so who want to volunteer next week on this? मनोज जी तो चले गए और किसको पकड़े? राधा मोहन जी तो आज हमारे बैकअप थे. आप हैं इंटरेस्टेड राधा मोहन जी इसको लेने में?
नहीं, कोई नहीं, मैं I just want to give chance to others. If not, then I will be happy to take. ठीक है.
ये भी काफी अच्छा है. इसमें हमारे पास मतलब गार्ड रेल्स का भी एक आएगा, बहुत अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट आएगा. गार्ड रेल्स का आएगा. अभी इंटर एजेंट कम्युनिकेशन एंड रिसोर्स अवेयरनेस ऑप्टिमाइजेशन, ये भी अच्छा. दोनों टॉपिक अच्छे हैं. हु वांट टू टेक लीड ऑन दिस? या मैं जिसका नाम ले लूंगा वो फिर आएगा नहीं नेक्स्ट वीक. क्यों श्याम जी?
अरे इनको दो, श्याम जी और आशीष सर.
मैं कमिट नहीं कर सकता हूँ, बट आई कैन ट्राई. इफ आई कैन रीड देन आई विल पुट इन द मैसेज.
बाय डिफॉल्ट तो है ही, मैं भी ले सकता हूँ, अगर नहीं तो कोई नहीं तो मैं लूंगा. अगर
ठीक है, 15 और 16 को नेक्स्ट उसमें कवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं, ठीक है ना. और दोनों अच्छी चीजें हैं मतलब, और ये ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कि मतलब जब आप चीजों को प्रोडक्शन पे ले जाते हो ना, तब इनकी जरूरत महसूस होती है.
हाँ राइट. तो किसका नाम रखना है अगले उसमें?
आशीष ने हाँ बोल दिया है. और अखिल जी आप आ जाइए.
आई कैन ट्राई, क्योंकि मैंने अभी तक एजेंट्स पे भी अपना स्टडी शुरू किया नहीं है. माइट बी लैगिंग बिहाइंड, बट if it is not too difficult or too advanced, I can probably take a look.
I think if you can just read it out ना, तो एक आइडिया मिल जाएगा आपको.
ठीक है.
because all these patterns are independent. ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब अगर हम सीक्वेंस में पढ़ेंगे तो हमें अच्छा लगेगा, बट मतलब एक्सेप्शनल हैंडलिंग है, कोई जरूरी नहीं कि इसके लिए आपको पहले के सारे पैटर्न तो मालूम ही होने चाहिए.
ठीक है.
ये टेक्निक है कैसे हम लोग एलएलएम में एक्सेप्शनल हैंडल कर सकते हैं. ह्यूमन इन द लूप कहाँ लगा सकते हैं, राइट? तो ऐसे ही ये भी रहेगा. बट यस, दिस इज अनदर डायमेंशन इन विच दिस एआई tools can be made. One is inter-agent communication, A to A, and other is the resource-aware optimization. तो मेरे ख्याल से आशीष और आप एक ही टॉपिक ले लीजिए और फिर करिए, नहीं तो फिर हमारे मयंक सर तो हैं संभालने के लिए.
So Ashish bhai, are you okay with resource or you want to share both?
ठीक है, लेट मी स्टार्ट विद 15. मेरा तो पढ़ने की स्पीड थोड़ी कम है, बिकॉज आई डोंट एक्चुअली वर्क ऑन दिस. मोर ऑफ ए नॉलेज गेनिंग के लिए मैं आता हूँ इन सेशंस में. माय रोल्स आर डिफरेंट, सो लेट मी टेक.
हम भी इसीलिए आ रहे हैं.
सर आप तो तब हैंड्स ऑन हो बहुत कुछ. मेरा तो
हमारे हाथ देखो खाली है. कोई खाली हाथ है भाई, खाली हाथ आए खाली हाथ जाएंगे.
अखिल सर, लेट मी गिव इट फॉर 15, चैप्टर 15.
So you want to take 16 then, resource aware optimization. ये थोड़ा सा मुझे कुछ अजीब सा लग रहा है.
और ये कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं, मतलब हम सब लोग लर्न कर रहे हैं.
ठीक
नहीं होगा तो साथ साथ पढ़ेंगे, उसमें क्या है.
लेट मी सी. ओके,
ये भी ठीक है. हां
ठीक है, तो मैं स्पीड अपडेट कर दिया हूं. ठीक है, सो 15 आई केप्ट आशीष एंड 16 अखिल. ओके,
दूसरा फायर उसने आपने कर दिया पूरा अपने. और
बैकअप में अपने को दे रहा हूं.
शिवा मैडम आ गई है बैकअप के लिए. गुड. ओके, थैंक यू.
थैंक यू।
तो हमारे मेन प्रेजेंटर मतलब गायब हो जाएंगे और फिर बैकअप ही काम करेगा है।
सर ऐसे बताइए तो सबको, बताइए तो सर।
अच्छा,
I don't know
बैकअप का आज
what I am
माइक भी नहीं
doing.
चल रहा था,
बोल
बैकअप
करके
का माइक भी
सुनाइए।
नहीं चल रहा है। चलो ठीक है, विल मीट नेक्स्ट वीक। या चलो, चलिए,
सर
थैंक यू मेंगी।
काफी इंटरेक्टिव था, काफी ज्यादा।
या
थैंक यू।
बाय।